my name is Jamie Ward. This is a short film on setting up a surface planer. So naming some parts on this machine, you have the in-feed table, the out-feed table, the fence. So on the fence, the adjustments, we have the locking lever which gives us adjustment of the fence over the table. We have a locking nut and lever to adjust the fence from 90 degrees through to 45 degrees. We have the bridge guard, and this one is a telescopic guard, and we have the adjustment for the table locking nut and handle, which gives us the depth of cut. So what we're going to do today is to plane this piece of pine, this piece of softwood. So first of all, setting the machine up, we'll set the guard. So the machine is isolated before we start. We set the guard as close as practicable. So we're going to plane the face side first, important to plane the face side first, and then the face edge. So the wide dimension first and then the thinner dimension. We'll only plane face side, face edge on this machine. So face side, set the guard. For the face edge, set the guard as close as practicable. What I will do, I'll turn the machine on, the extraction on, and we'll be planing the component like so. If we go on a skew, get a better finish. So plane the face side, check that it's planed all the way across, and then up against the fence, like so. And note, my hands will not go over the exposed part of the cutter. They will not be doing this for health and safety reasons. That's the quickest way to have an accident. So my fingers will be going over the guard, like so. So now I will turn the extraction on, and then turn the isolator on, and then I'll plane face side, face edge. A couple of things to point out there. When we come to plane, before we plane, we want to make sure that we've got the timber bowed down. So we just try the component on the table. If it rocks, then turn it over. We talked about the skew to improve the finish. And then the very first, or the last thing we do before we carry on, once we're playing face side, face edge, check in the end, the middle, and the end that it's square. And then mark a face side, face edge, so a benchmark that's on there, which we then know this is square, and therefore anything else we do is going to be square to this component. Additional considerations. We looked at setting the guard up for planing a thin component. How do you set the guard if you've got a thicker component? So anything over 50 millimeters, 2 inches, I would suggest that you want to set the guard so it's down and as close as practicable up against the side, like so. That is a safer way to set the guard for thicker components. Other considerations, in this workshop we don't put any components through shorter than 300 millimeters. So if you had 2 components, say 250 mil, then I would get one long component and plane that down. So minimum length in this machine shop, the length of that ruler, 300 mil. If you did have to plane a short component, we would suggest you use a push block like so, and this then fits up against the end. But that would be the last resort if you had to plane smaller shorter length components. Checking the machine. What I didn't do at the start was just double check the machine was square, so if I plane off face eye, face edge and it's not square, so just check that the fence is square by adjusting the levers here and checking at the business end where the cutter block is that that's square. If that's square, then as you plane it should be square. I want to emphasise the health and safety side of the machine, including the stops. So whenever we're working on the machine, we always make sure when we're setting it up that the machine is isolated on the wall, and we've got an on-off switch here, so the red that has to be pulled out before we can start the machine. And also note that when I'm using it, you might see me actually step on there, so this is a good stop button because it's an easy reach of my leg. You'll also hear the machine stop within 10 seconds according to the Pure regulations 1998, so it stops within 10 seconds. Again, health and safety.